What's going on YouTube? So today I have a new commentary for you guys. I'm gonna do it on the Panasonic S1H wedding that we put up a little while ago. It's for one of our couples, Matt and Marissa. Let's open it up. First thing I like to do is just read some of the comments before we watch it, you know? And let's see what we have. I mean, this wedding was October 5th, so now that's what, almost 2 months ago. This was the first S1H wedding that we filmed. We still had the X-T3. We used the X-T3 on the gimbal. Yeah, it was awesome. The images came out great. Again, you know, this was still like our testing period. We got the camera like 2 days before. So yeah, let's read some comments. First time I've been literally blown away by an S1 video, and of course S1H. Are you taking advantage of the H, or you feel the S1 would deliver the same images? So yeah, I mean, long story short, I never used the S1. I only used the S1H. We kind of skipped that one. So yeah, that's right. That's that. Just for one question about your method of focusing. So we don't even, everything's manual focus when we use the S1H. The Lumix line has been known to kind of just be like really bad with autofocus. So it wasn't even like a thought. It was just, we know we're gonna go in with manual focus, and yeah, that's that. How much grading did you do to get the image looking like that? Honestly, I just try to get them all to look exactly the same, like white balance wise. And then from there, I just do like an adjustment layer, and I'll just, you know, bring shadows down, bring the contrast up, bring the highlights down. Sometimes I want it like a warmer look, sometimes I don't. I'll go into like the curves and whatever, you know. I just kind of do it based off each wedding, and then we kind of just have like this like standard look that we're achieving right now. And yeah, that's basically my coloring thing, just like really short, you know. Do autofocus? Nope, everything's manual. Amazing, thank you. I really do appreciate all the nice comments. You know, like we don't really get feedback from weddings other than like everyone like kind of in the industry, like the other vendors, just like a little comment here or there. But when we get like comments on YouTube saying like the work is nice, like we really do appreciate it, because this is like the most honest feedback we're gonna get. Like random people on the internet. So it's nice to see a nice comment from someone random on the internet, because most of the time it's not nice. So not saying I don't get nice comments, I'm just saying some other people, there's a lot of bad people out there, whatever. You get it. Do you use NDs or a polarizer? No, I think I replied like something funny. Yeah, nope, Shutter 8000. Yeah, man, like I just throw the shutter up there. Like it's just way too much stuff going on to think about an ND or a polarizer. But if you got an ND or a polarizer and you want to use it, by all means use it, man. Like it would look so much nicer. But for us, run and gun, image looks nice. That's all I care about. I'm blown away, image quality. Thank you, thank you. Why don't you use the S1H on the gimbal? I think I replied, but it's just because of the autofocus. Yeah, X-T3 has amazing autofocus. We keep the gimbal camera on the gimbal the whole day, which is what I'm filming with now. You know, autofocus is amazing. Like if I just go like this, you know, the Panasonic can't do that at all. So we use the X-T3 for the gimbal, and we don't even think about using the Panasonic on the gimbal. Do I own a 16 to 55 millimeter? No, I don't. I purchased the S1H and I love to see how the lens performs. What did I say? Oh yeah, we have an 11 to 16. That's like that, and then after that it's a 24 to 105, and then 35. So I don't even have that 16 to 35 range. It kind of just goes from 16 to 24. But yeah, that's really it. That was just like a random question. Great job. Did you move from the GH5? No, it was really like the Sony A7S. Then we were like, damn, the colors on the X-T3 are fire, so we got the X-T3. And then we decided that the S1H was like the camera. So yeah, we just moved forward and bought that one. You don't list the drone. It's just the Mavic 2 Pro with the Hasselblad one. We don't use the we don't use the zoom one. A buddy of mine, Anthony, kind of like corrected me with this, and I was like, well, if you get the zoom one, you kind of get like the really nice like parallax where, you know, the drone's moving and then the thing's here and it's going like this and the background is moving like really fast. But he explained that like when you zoom in with the Pro, it's essentially the same exact thing as shooting wide open with the Hasselblad lens and then doing like the crop, the HQ, whatever it's called, the crop mode. It ends up looking like exactly the same thing, and this is better quality. So yeah, go with the Pro instead of the zoom. Music is cringy. Yeah, man, music's music, man. Whatever works, dude. Start with one. Dance floor shots with S1H, Fuji low light. So actually, I think, yeah, it's all S1H, man. S1H and the Fuji. If it's on the gimbal, it's the Fuji. If it's not, it was the S1H. Awesome video, Patrick, as a wedding filmmaker. S1H X-T3 as the gimbal cam. What picture profile do we use? I replied. I didn't mention the picture profile. So on the X-T3, we just do the standard profile. And on the Panasonic, we use the S1H. Yeah. On the S1H, we use the Cinelec D profile. So yeah, let's dive into the actual video now. And let's make it widescreen and full screen, and let's go. So this was actually like a 2-day, and I just paused right there. It was actually like a 2-day wedding. They had the first day they took like a catamaran out, which is this. So we decided to start the highlight video with them, their whole wedding party going out on the boat. So a lot of these shots, I mean, they're all the S1H, and this was the first ever shot we captured with the S1H, and it blew our mind. We were like, this was the camera that we're waiting for. Yeah. It's great. Colors look amazing. Like this shot, impossible on the X-T3. Impossible. The stabilization out on the boat was a great test for us. The S1H has like the internal body stabilization, and it worked flawlessly. Like not a single issue with us. Drone shots, Mavic 2, nothing crazy. Yeah, I think we shot most of this day at like 1080 at 60 frames a second. Just because if you shoot 4K at 60, there's a crop. Again, you know, like this shot is done with the Mavic Pro zoom. Not the zoom, the Mavic Pro 2, but it's cropped in, so it's not like, it looks just like the zoom. So I would suggest, again, like if you're gonna get a Mavic, go with the Mavic 2 and not go with the Pro and not the zoom. Sorry, that was really confusing. This was like the first ever 120 frames per second shot we got with it. It's nice, you know, it looks a lot better than the A7S 120 stuff. Yeah, and then I mean, look, like images look great. I think this was done on the 24-105. And like the skin tones are on point, it's sharp, like it's, I don't know, there's really nothing to, yeah, that day was a good day. We did this, and then this shot's reversed, the kiss shot, yeah. And then this was day 2, so we decided to, you know, we get there, do our drone shots, knock that out, and then go upstairs, and then just start with the prep stuff. Man, and getting drone, like we live in Miami, and getting drone shots is like the scariest thing in the world because they have a lot of Tor helicopters flying at basically the level of this drone. And it's, for me, the most stressful part of the day is flying the drone, especially out on like the beach. And like you can even see like all like the parasailing people, like I'm lower than the parasail that's right there, you know? And then of course like this hotel, shoes, all these are done I believe on the 24-105. I like doing details on the 24 to 105 because it tends to be like a little bit more, like it looks more like a macro lens. You can focus a lot closer than, you know, for like the 85 millimeter, for example. Then again, all these shots are just the standard like 50 millimeter or 35 millimeter. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but like that image looks incredible. Like, look at that. You can't get that on the X-T3, and that's the reason why we switched to the S1H. But again, it's more of like that full frame look. Color wise, I mean, I feel like you can get this color on almost any camera. Not the Sony though, because the Sony's green, but that's another video. We stuck with our normal silhouette stuff. You know, just the standard stuff. We like to give that direction now, which is just, you know, we had them do things multiple times. Never be afraid to do that. Again, this is again like I'm targeting like the wedding viewers, so never be afraid to have them do things more than once. Like, you're there to make a video, and I feel like if they know that they're paying you to do that, then they're basically paying you to like be a director as well, you know? So when it's like, hey, can we do this over again? We need that shot. Like, okay, cool. So we have, we do these shots multiple times, and this one's kind of cool. It's like a new thing we've been doing. It's like the cufflinks. We have them check both. So we tell them just like, all right, go like this, and then go like this, and then check both, and then just keep doing it back and forth like kind of like a boomerang. And that's one of the words I like to use a lot during a wedding day, is like, especially with the girls, it's like, oh, you know what a boomerang is? You know, like, instead of like when they do like a cheers or something, it's like, oh, cheers, and then they stop. I tell them like, pretend it's a boomerang, so just keep doing it over and over. And then, yeah, that image is money. And that's like, I think that's a 50 millimeter. At like 2.0. I never shoot wide open because it just won't be sharp at all. All right, then oh my god, yeah, that when I got this shot, my mind was like blown, dude. Like, this I think was this was a 35 millimeter shooting like around 2.0. I think it's a 2.0 lens, I believe. I don't even know, or 2.8 or something. I think it was like 2.8, and that blew me away. I was like, they're in focus, color looks amazing, the background's blurry, like, I don't know, I loved it. It was great. We have my business partner on the other camera. Standard stuff. This was on an 85 millimeter from in front of her, and I'm on that camera. Did like a little reveal thing. First looks are always a bit tricky, you know. For this one, the photographers were pointing directly at the bride, so we weren't able to get behind her like I normally do. But luckily she was walking downstairs, so I just stayed at the top on a 35 millimeter and just filmed her walking down. Business partner Jesse's in the front with the 85 millimeter. And then we had her pause halfway down the stairs so I could run down and then get this shot. And again, you know, like, one thing for us is just never be afraid, like, to say something. Like, never be afraid to, like, you're there because they want you there, you know, not because it's an accident. You're not bothering them. You're doing exactly what they want you to do. So yeah, I told her, look, when you get halfway down there, just stop, wait for me to get in front of you, and then just continue walking. You know, it's, yeah. Get this on the 35 millimeter. Then come back to the 85. Oh no, never mind. Now is that just the one reaction on the 35, and then X-T3 stuff. So that's the X-T3 right there. Looks amazing. More X-T3 stuff. 85 millimeter, 85 millimeter. Or that, I think that's the 35. That's mine on the 35. That's 85. 85, all 85 stuff. Then yeah, that's it for those shots. We did more portrait stuff, but that's gonna show up in a little bit, so wait for that. This shot, done on the gimbal, not the gimbal, the slider, the Rhino slider, S1H with the 11-16, and we just put the 16 millimeter on it. Yeah, we put it to 16 because it would just have a vignette otherwise. So, yeah, we had this slider shot on the 85, this reaction 85, 85, all these are 85 millimeters. Then we cut back to the gimbal on the XT3 on the gimbal, my bad. Then during the initial drone flight in the beginning of like the morning, I did these shots too. I really wanted to get some shots of them in the street, just that like Miami vibe, you know. So luckily we ended up doing like a couple of shots. I wasn't like a huge fan of what we captured, but it ended up looking really, really good. And these shots helped like set it up. We got that. Again, work with the sun. Don't be afraid to shoot right into the sun. We do it all the time, and that we get some of our best stuff that way. The opposite of photographers. So yeah, we just had them run across the street a couple times, and that was actually at I think that was 180, I believe. I think that was 180 frames a second. This one, yeah. And then gimbal stuff, 85 millimeter gimbal. We set up like LED panels and just set them up to like white balance daylight, and then we just daylight balance during the reception. And I mean, yeah, the rest is basically just dancing shots. Nothing crazy. I mean, if you guys have questions about that stuff, it's just, you know, basic, putting the light next to things. Like the light right here, like the cake was here, and we had the LED light literally like right next to it out of frame. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have questions on the reception stuff, feel free to ask. But almost all of it's S1H footage on 85 millimeters, or 85 or 50. And then maybe some XT3 gimbal stuff, but for the most part, yeah, everything's S1H. When I saw this image, let me see, where'd it go? This one, I saw this on the camera, I was like, dude, like I brought that into Premiere, that was like money. I was really surprised with how the image looks. There's no noise, like it's super clean. The camera's weird, man. Like I'll get noise at like 400 ISO, but at like 3200 ISO, I get no noise. But that's a story for another video. But yeah, I mean that's really it for that. You know, you can see the constant lighting throughout the whole reception with our LED lights. That again, 11-16 millimeter right there. Set to 16. Try to get something different. Always gotta throw the mom in there. One shot at 120. And yeah, I mean, that's really it. It was a good wedding day. Yeah, pretty solid wedding. Awesome couple. Always try to end with the couple, something nice, and then our logo. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for that. Again, if you have any more questions or something, feel free to ask. I try to reply to all of them. But if you like this stuff, feel free to subscribe. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.